I was dreading the long-ass train ride as I remembered the trains from last year, but I was happy to see nice new air-conditioned trains. A little later, after passing through this gypsy village, which Lubin sarcastically calls the main attraction of Belgrade, I got to know two girls. One from Holland, the other from Split, who were returning from the famous Exit Festival in Novi Sad, Serbia. Apparently, the Chemical Brothers show was disappointing, and Missy Elliott, well, no comment. Remind me to ask Gogo what the hell is up with the name of this candy. Anyways, to Zagreb with love. I wondered if Zagreb missed me while I was gone. Last year, everyone couldn't stop staring at me. Not that people in Belgrade weren't staring, and it's nothing negative, but how often does a black person roll through town, really? Let alone one with dreads. I've seen vendors selling Jimi Hendrix, Tupac, and Bob Marley t-shirts, and I know I've heard Bob Marley's song Could This Be Love playing on the radio, as well as Beyonce's CD in the music stores. I guess the shock of having one walk amongst them was too surreal. The love affair with Zagreb will have to wait. First, it's to Velika Gorica to check in with Goga's aunt. Velika Gorica, like many of the other towns in Zagreb, have somehow managed to have the old generation and the young generation living in perfect harmony. One generation is rapping, freestyling, and beatboxing, while around the corner the other generation is playing bocce ball or chess. The old love the graffiti by the young, and the young respect the old. I've never seen that before. I'm sure Goga's aunt was wondering what my obsession was with sleeping on the floor, but she soon came to realize that the floor was actually 10 degrees cooler than the fold-out bed. There was a constant breeze which helped me sleep, but not completely because I was still trying to adjust to the 6-hour time difference. It's 4 a.m. right now, which is 10 p.m. back in Toronto, and I'll be damned if I went to bed at 10 p.m. So I stayed looking out the window. First, ice cream for breakfast. A sore throat has perks, I guess. Then, we head into town to the bus station to find out about our bus to Rome. Goga likes to make sure we know how long and how to get to where we're going next ahead of time. Bus station, platform, departure times, confirmation, etc. East of this train station, along a street called Kneza Branimira, you will find some of the most beautiful and interesting graffiti which goes on and on for several blocks. First impression of Zagreb is the same as last year. Wow. You walk out the train station and a big statue of King Tomislav, the first king of medieval state of Croatia, greets you. The streets and sidewalks are so clean you can probably eat off them, or play musical instruments off them, which is probably due to the fact that there's a cigarette ashtray and garbage can every 100 meters. The part behind the statue is King Tomislav Square, which is always full of people. People sitting and lying on the fresh-cut grass. Goga says those people are probably not from Croatia because people from here don't walk on the grass. I'm not surprised. But there is an endless amount of people kissing, hugging, and making out full throttle like nobody's business. A giant orgy, if you will, even though the Hotel Esplanade is right around the corner. Okay, so you walk up the streets past Zrinovac Park, which is filled with those airy Harry Potter Forbidden Forest beech trees toward the main square. Oh, I should probably mention, like Belgrade, scooters and motorcycles rule. Cars are second, followed by buses and streetcars, then bicycles, and lastly pedestrians. People needing to cross the road appear to be more of a nuisance, so look both ways and make haste. Motorists are in a rush to get to a coffee shop to relax. Tragbana Jelačića is the center of Zagreb and always busy. Josip himself was a band, kind of like a count of Croatia between 1848 and 1859. He was remembered for his military campaigns during the revolutions of 1848, amongst other things. Hang a left, and this is where the longest street in Zagreb starts, with all kinds of wicked shopping. Hospitality is key. Walk into any store, and I promise you, as soon as you open the door and your foot crosses the line, someone, whether close or at the other end of the store, will shout out, "Dobar dan," good day. My secret mission was to run into the stores and try to scream "Dobar dan" before they do. But it's nice to see stores that are original and not westernized and repetitive. Nothing ruins your "I want to get lost in a new country" mentality more than seeing shit you know from your neck of the woods. But it's something about my lazy, procrastinating, and chilled self that attracts me to these cafes for a few daily double espresso shots. People must sit, relax, talk, and enjoy their coffee brought to you by a waiter. Imagine that, as opposed to Toronto where coffee is brought to go. Simply to slow down and enjoy life for half an hour or two is my cup of coffee. I tried bringing that mentality home last year and people thought I was just being lazy. Well, lazier than normal. But that's how it is. And some stores still close for a few hours in the middle of the day for that very reason. It's not laziness. It's so you don't lose sight of what matters. The company and friends of family. We headed up the hill to Gornji Grad, Upper City, which overlooks Croatia, to find that outdoor bar that plays chilled or live music with the speakers hanging in the trees. After a beer or two or three, I started thinking about Zagreb. Zagreb is like a famous theater in which a strict dress code is required. People here dress proper. Not all expensive, but their clothes are clean and fit properly. People take care of themselves. I mean, if you look good, you feel good, right? People don't throw on sweatpants to go out to the grocery store. Shit, even Goga's aunt dresses up before going for a neighborhood walk. People are about hygiene, and except when driving, manners. Cover your mouth when you yawn. Yeah, I know, you know, but in Toronto you can get away with that. Here, if you're caught with your mouth all hanging open, people will look at you like an animal who just escaped from the zoo. Goga had to remind me a few times. Good thing, like I needed more reasons for people to stare at me. My last and one of my favorite stops, Zagreb Cathedral. Tomorrow, we'll leave for Italy. We slicker this year. We bumping this shit that real heads wanna hear. I love this city, man, with all its drug spots, graffiti on the walls, hookers on the blocks, shots while you sleep, blood in the streets, the homeless trying to eat, the cops walk the beat, but the streets has stories they ain't never gonna tell. Aside from the cold wind blowing, I feel well, cause I'm from T-Dot, I'm from T-Dot, I'm from T-Dot, yeah, T-Dot.